A video's gone viral of ex-UFC champion Khabib getting removed off a plane. Now listen, we ain't talking about no yippity hoy here. We're talking about one of the GOATs. We're talking about an undefeated champion in the UFC. We're talking about someone who is like, I mean, him and Dana White are like this. Dana White would vouch for Khabib just as much as he vouches for John Jones. And to vouch for John Jones, you've got to have a set of cojones on you, I tell you, because he's always letting you down. If he ain't doing the old he's doing steroids. I mean, he's got involved in hit and runs, but Dana White is always protecting John Jones, so imagine what he would do for Khabib. So I ain't no aeronautical engineer. I don't work for the NTSB. I don't know about health and safety on a plane. I mean, when they're giving the briefing before the plane takes off, you know, the health and safety stuff in case of an emergency, I've already popped a sleeping pill. I'm half asleep by then. I'm not listening to that. I can't even stand heights. You know, if something happens, I'm living on a prayer if anything happens at the end of the day. And that's like a lot of people. A lot of people don't listen to that briefing before the plane takes off, and I'm one of them. I hate being in the sky. You know, I mean, I rarely fly. I ain't gonna sit here and claim I know everything about air travel when I don't. At the end of the day. But I couldn't gauge what was going on in this video. Like, you hear people shouting out racism, nationalism, every ism under the sun, but I can't gauge what's going on about this seat, this so-called seat next to the emergency exit. It's almost like it's got mysterious powers. I mean, it's so, you've got to be a powerful entity to be sitting on that seat. It's like Thor's hammer. You know, you've got to be someone special to pick up Thor's hammer, right? Well, to sit in that seat next to the emergency exit, you're going to need just as much power to sit in that seat. I mean, like, you've got to be elected to sit in that seat. It's like a goddamn throne from what I can make out. So anyway, again, I can't gauge what the mysteries behind this emergency exit chair and the qualifications a passenger needs to sit in it. So I've done a bit of research, typed it in on Google, and I thought we could break it down together just to gauge what the problem is here. So, responsibilities of exit row passengers. Here we go. So, these are the responsibilities. Now, you'd think someone like Khabib would probably qualify to sit in this chair, do you know what I mean? But anyway, let's go through it and see if he qualifies to sit in this chair. If he should be elected to sit in this chair. So, basically, you've got an assist in an emergency evacuation. Well, if you want anyone assisting in an emergency evacuation, no better than Khabib. He's the most disciplined. You've got to be so disciplined to be undefeated UFC champion. You know, if that was me now, you wouldn't want me sitting in that chair. I'll be so chaotic. I'll go into panic stations. I'll be the first off that plane. Assist? Nah, mate, I'm gone. But anyway, you'd like Khabib to be sitting in that chair, obviously. So it says, exit row passengers are expected to help open the emergency exit door in the event of an evacuation. God blimey. You know, like I said, if you want someone sitting in that chair, it sounds like you want Khabib sitting in that chair. I mean, that air stewardess should be thanking him for sitting in that chair right now, not harassing him. Yeah, so you've got to be the first person to sit there and open it. You don't want me sitting there trying to open that door. I'll be fluffing about. Oh my god, quick, panic, trying to open it. I wouldn't know where to begin. But you want someone like Khabib, different story. He'll just be like, follow me, send me location, follow me. And he'll be guiding everyone out nice and calmly. Plus, I ain't even got the arms to get out of that plane. You need someone with some strength to open one of them doors. They're not easy to open, them doors. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so exactly. So, again, Khabib probably qualifies to sit in that chair. So, yeah, to assist, basically, in an evacuation. Follow instructions. Flight attendants brief exit row passengers on how to operate the emergency exit door. Listen, you can brief me all you want. As soon as that plane's in panic, as soon as that plane's hitting any sort of problems, all briefing goes out the window. So again, someone disciplined like Khabib is probably your best option sitting in that seat. And yeah, I mean, I don't get the problem. So at the moment, it sounds like, you know, the person you want in that seat is actually Khabib. Right, this is it. Eligibility for exit row seats. I mean, this is like, you've got to be eligible to sit in this seat. I mean, it's madness, absolute madness. But if it saves people's lives, then I understand it. Eligibility. So age. Most airlines require passengers to be at least 15 years old. Khabib, check. You know, the geezer looked about 40 years old when he was 15. He was fighting bears at 8 years old, for Christ's sake. Physically ability. What's that? Physical ability. Sorry. So passengers. Do I need to finish off this? Physical ability. You couldn't get a better specimen than Khabib, could you? Passengers must have sufficient mobility. We're talking about someone who wrestles for a living, gets in all these awkward positions, puts guillotines and does neck cranks and whatnot. Figure four leg locks. If anyone's got mobility, it's goddamn Khabib. And there, strength. Like I said, at 8, 9 years old, Khabib was fighting bears at 8, 9 years old. So don't talk to me about strength. That is pure strength. At 8 years old, I was playing with Woody from Toy Story. Scrap that. I was playing with Barbie dolls at 8 years old. Khabib's playing with bloody real life bears. And dexterity in their arms. I mean, oh my God. You see the neck crank he put on Conor McGregor? If that ain't dexterity in the arms, Conor McGregor's head was like, oh shit, my neck just went there. McGregor's neck was like in a place it shouldn't be. Like, so dexterity in the arms. Khabib qualifies for. I mean, they're basically summing up. Basically, the best person to sit in that chair is a wrestler. Dexterity in the arms, hands, and legs. The one place you don't want to be in a UFC in a cage with Khabib is in his arms, is in his hands, and in his legs. I mean, they're actual certified weapons, for Christ's sakes. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. This air stewardess is looking like a donut. Language skills. Okay, maybe here. Passengers must be able to understand printed and verbal instructions in the primary language of the flight. From what I can make out, Khabib's English is pretty much perfect. So, it is what that is. That's a load of rubbish. Khabib can speak good English. Whether he can write in English, I don't know. I mean, he signed enough UFC contracts. So there you go. I mean, what you need to be A star in literature to sit in that chair. Is that what you're telling me? You need to have A stars up your arse to sit in that chair in English. Come on, do me a favour. And then willingness, right? Next part is willingness. Passengers must be willing and able to assist in an emergency evacuation. Like I said, Khabib's one of the most disciplined people. You've got to be so disciplined, so calm. I mean, alright, the only time I've seen Khabib not calm is when he was fighting Conor McGregor. But Conor McGregor has that effect on you. He's just a freak of nature. It would bring out, the beast in you. But in a case of an emergency, Khabib, he's as calm as you're going to get. Calm. You have to be calm. You have to be disciplined to be a fighter. And to be undefeated as well. Like, you got to have some sort of level of calmness about you. Like I said, if a plane's an emergency, you don't want someone like me sitting in that chair. And I can speak perfectly good English. I don't care about English, really. I mean, that previous statement about you've got to be able to speak the language of the plane, or whatever, the designated language, that's a load of bollocks, really, if you think about it. I just want someone nice and calm, someone relaxed, just to usher us out of that plane nice and disciplined. And Khabib fits that. I don't care what language you bloody speak. So there we go. I've broken it down for you. So my final thoughts on basically who qualifies to sit in that chair is Khabib. You couldn't find a better person if you tried.
Are not allowing you to sit in that exit row, or you're gonna have to get off this plane and then we'll have to leave because they're not comfortable with sitting in there.
So after reading what we just read about the qualifications to sit in that chair, not qualifications but requirements to sit in that chair, you can safely say if anyone has to sit in that chair, it's going to be Khabib. But then the flight attendants come over now and said, no, we don't want you sitting there actually because we don't feel certain staff members and some passengers do not feel comfortable with him sitting there. What do you mean? What? I mean, this is looking slightly racist now. It's like they've heard him speak, and they've seen a Muslim guy with a beard, heard him speak, and that's it. They're on the back foot now. They're going into panic stations. I mean, it's almost like that scene from The Dictator. Do you know?
My flight is in minutes. And unfortunately, it is fair.
It's not fair.
Yes, it is.
They asked me, do I know English? Yes, I said.
And they said yes. And yes. I understand that, but it's also off of their judgment. I'm not going to do this back and forth. I will call a supervisor. You can either take a different seat, or we can go ahead and escort you off the plane. Which one are we doing?
You have to see.
Okay, I'll call a supervisor, and then we're going to have to pick you for a different flight. Josh, do you copy?
Correct. I'll help you get reported.
I mean, I feel sorry for Khabib in this video. Like, he actually's been made to do the walk of shame when it should be that horrible little muggy flight attendant that should be doing the walk of shame. She's dealt with it all wrong. She's talking to him like an absolute mug. She's talking to the ex-UFC light heavyweight champion, undefeated ever. Talking to him like a mug, right? And then she has the cheek to say, someone's made the judgment that you can't sit in this seat. Freaking hell. I mean, you couldn't have even said nothing worse. You can't make that shit up, surely. How dare you say to me, we've made the judgment on you to remove you from this seat. I mean, come on, that's taking a mick. Then that little Karen, little cow, horrible, I'm not going to swear, calls the security guard, and this security guard's come and they've escorted Khabib on the plane. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit up the like button. Like, Khabib should be hitting up Frontier Airlines in the near future with some sort of civil action against them. Don't forget to subscribe to Sports Almanac, and thank you for watching.